Joker, I know it just happened. You're still processing, but what are some of your early takeaways from this game and this series as a whole for you guys?
I mean, this game was basically similar to second game. We turned the ball over. We didn't make enough shots. They were aggressive. They were running. In transition. They were attacking us back. We were playing on our heels. They were attacking the offensive glass. They were making shots. Two same officials as the second game. So it's kind of similar to the second game.
Nikola, did he just say same official? This game too?
So this was by the way, this was Scott Foster. Scott Foster, as soon as I saw he was on the slate for today's referee crew, I was like, this isn't good. This probably isn't good. Scott Foster has, between Westbrook and then just the Nuggets in general this season, it hasn't been great when Scott Foster has refereed games for the Nuggets. Whether you think that's a vendetta for us or just the way I don't know. But the two blowout games happened under Scott Foster's watch.
I don't think Jokic doesn't usually reference officiating ever in his post-game conference. So I don't think that's zero. And obviously he referenced a lot of other things. So again, that's not why the Nuggets lost, but damn it, if the Thunder weren't allowed to just do whatever they wanted defensively, slap, claw, I've already said it. I didn't understand how that was allowed to happen. And the Thunder, that's what they do defensively. They are. Who was the coach that called him out in another press conference during the regular season?
Chris Finch.
Oh, of Minnesota. So that'll be 11.
Yeah.
That's just they're really hard when they're allowed to do whatever they want, and you can't touch Shea. You can't touch him.
Chris Finch. I mean, even Steve Kerr was in there saying he was questioning some of the things that they let Shea get away with. I mean, it's not a secret. Shea was on the floor half this series, basically. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
but damn it, the Nuggets. If they don't turn the ball over and they make some shots, this is a different game.
Yeah,
it's a different game.
Does anyone like Scott Foster? What's up, Wags? No. He needs to retire.
The Thunder do.
Thunder love him.
What are your thoughts after 2 Game 7s? And I know you dealt with health issues, not you, but Aaron and Michael. Do you feel like this team could still win a championship as it's put together now?
I mean, we didn't, so obviously we can't. If we could, we will win it. So I don't believe in those if stuff. So we had the opportunity, we didn't win it. So I think we can't.
Your impressions and your appreciation for what Aaron Gordon did today to get on the court for you guys.
Yes. I mean, definitely playing with that injury. I mean, I told him to not play. You can injure yourself even worse. You can see that he was struggling a little bit. Hard to move and this and that. So. But he's a lion. He's a lion. He went out there and fight with us, and we can just appreciate that.
I will say I'm pretty we had a guy that couldn't raise his left arm, and we had a guy both in our starting lineup, and a guy that has a grade 2 strain in his hamstring that needs 4 weeks of healing. That was out there playing.
Steph had a grade 1, which is less severe than what Aaron Gordon went out with today. And Steph didn't obviously play the rest of the time with that grade 1. So props to Aaron Gordon. He clearly wasn't.
He played well too. It's not like he played terrible today.
He played fine, but you could see every time he was moving, it was not normal Aaron Gordon.
No.
But props to him for going out there and fighting it and not worrying about making it worse, because you absolutely could that could turn into a tear where he's not playing next year.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. Good series by the Nuggets. The better team won in the end, but you can't be mad with that amazing series. What's up, Blue to Green? How we doing? Good to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I will say, can I say that I'm proud of the Denver Nuggets with how they've played, with the adversity that they had going into the playoffs, firing their GM, firing their head coach, going in with no expectations, beating a Clippers team in 7, taking the best team in the West to 7, and still almost having a chance to win that series if a couple things go right in the middle of the series, if you're able to hold the lead at the end of a game. Like, it's crazy to think that the Nuggets have a lot of, like, you know, I'm proud of what they did this year at the end of the season, given the circumstances. What's up, Skittle Coach? How we doing? New chatter homies. What's going, Skittles? Thunder fan here. Can't lie, I was nervous going into Game 7. Hey, appreciate that. Thanks for being here. It's a bummer. Scotty and I are both Nuggets fans, so we're here in Denver, so we obviously are a little more on the depressed side at the moment. But I mean, we weren't going to win this series given
Chris,
the circumstances of.
You were very positive going into the series. I didn't think the Nuggets could take it to 7. I did not. I thought they were going to lose the series.
Well, did I called it. My preseason or my pre-series prediction was Nuggets in 6, which had a chance at one point. We were.
I called it, even though it didn't happen.
And called it, as
but
a little aggressive.
That was my heart. My head was Thunder in 7. If you remember, I said Thunder in 7 was my head pick, and there we go. See, Wags remembers. But yeah, Thunder fan here. Can't lie, I was nervous. And if you're a Thunder fan with a young team going against a veteran team, you got to be nervous, right? I feel like I was nervous for OKC going in. I was like, man, I kind of like the spot for Denver. I didn't necessarily want to go out on a limb and say they would win this game, but the depth was just such a difference. Like, they were throwing 3 different centers, 3 different bigs on Jokic throughout the series. Then you throw Caruso on him as a wrinkle, and that's been successful. It came down to depth. And I think Jokic mentions that here in this press conference, where he was like, the best teams have guys that could go into their bench and get production from. The Nuggets didn't. The Nuggets couldn't play a backup center. We couldn't play either DeAndre Jordan. We couldn't play.
We don't really have a backup.
We don't have a backup center. Well, he was drafted, and he's
Ron Holm, and he got hurt before the season even started. So we'll see what that is. Listen. I'm not that I'm going to cheer for a team, but like OKC, passionate fan base about their team. They have no other professional sports. I lived in Oklahoma City for several years growing up, so I'll probably it'd be nice to see the Thunder win, just because like that, that fan base probably deserves it.
So speaking of which,
they have nothing else out there,
Chris, we had a poll up about your whole thing about like, do people root for their team that just eliminated them?
Yeah, and I think
6 out of 9 people said no, fuck that. One said yes, the other 2 said they don't care.
Generally, I don't root for teams that beat my team. Generally, that's just how I've always been. So that's maybe why I feel, and it's fresh, Scotty. This just happened this afternoon, so it's fresh in my head. I'm like, oh man, do I get a root for Minnesota now? I don't know. I haven't decided.
I said that both teams we lost to could win it all, but that doesn't mean like I have zero interest in. How does it make some fans feel better about it? But I'm just like, you still lost. You lost. You weren't good enough. I don't care that you lost to the team that won it all. Who cares? What does that prove? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
You lost.
It doesn't matter. By the way, Skittles in the chat, off-topic statement. Congrats to the new Pope. Hey, new Pope. Hey. New Pope is from America and is from Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to Pope Leo.
Fun fact, after he got named Pope, the White Sox went on a little run.
White Sox,
Well,
yeah, it
and
was. I mean,
he's
And
a
then
White
they
Sox.
he's a
fell
White
off.
Sox fan because I think Cubs tried to claim it, and they were like, his brother was like, no, you would Cubs.
Yeah. Bears, White Sox, Bulls.
He
I don't
was
know about
like-
the Blackhawks.
He heard Cubs, he was like, no, he is not a Cubs fan. I'm gonna take that back now. So shout out, new Pope in the world. We never really announced that, I guess, on the show.
There's pictures of him at like White Sox games where like when they were actually good. It's a long time ago, but they had a stretch where they were good.
They won the World Series once, the most
Yeah.
forgettable World Series ever, but still counts.
Yeah. All right, let's see what else. I think
Nikola, what can you coming into this series, obviously a big, storyline, and it was, the matchup between you and, SGA, and, you guys being two of the top MVP candidates this year. After a 7-game series with him, what would you just say about the respect you might have earned from him, or just your approach and, what you think about, Shea and the season that he's had,
I mean, it's amazing. We played. So how many? 4 and 7 games. So 11 times we played this season. Actually, I think we played. Did we play preseason too one time? So we played like a lot of times. We saw him a lot of times, and he's a special player. His shot selection, his shots capability, making his own shots, separation, playing in his rhythm. Defensively, he was like always stealing the balls, always blocking shots. He's like a little I don't know how to say, like a little punter out there. He was always there. So he's
little pat out there.
He's a special player.
I will say, I gained a little appreciation for Shea in one aspect of just like, if you take away a lot of the extracurriculars, the flailing and like hitting the floor he's on the floor so much, and I get it. He gets the calls. He's a guard in a league. He's gonna get those calls. But man, he makes shots. He can, those mid-range shots, he gets reliable shots, and he's good at making those, man.
He's elite at a push-off that I'm not even sure you should call. I'm not saying they
No.
should call it, but he creates separation with there's certainly a little push-off there, but it's subtle and like you can't tell, and and he hits those shots.
You could almost equate it to how Jokic uses his elbows, the chicken wing.
Sure.
He uses it in a way that doesn't get called, but at the same time, he's mastered it. And I think that's how, to your point, how Shea is with that little push.
Shea is great. Shea is, in my mind, not even going to be the best player in the next series he plays. I think Anthony Edwards is better than Shea. I do.
If you
Just
were,
my opinion.
I guess
Just
if you
my
were to
opinion.
ask me who I would take to start my franchise tomorrow, like if I had a choice between Shea and Ant, I would probably go Ant.
I think Ant's the better player, to be honest. I do. And that's no shot at Shea. I think Ant's just really, really, really good as well. Shea's obviously certainly top 10. Where I'd have to think where I place him. I don't think he's certainly not 1, whatever. He's probably around 4 or 5-ish for me.
Just overall in the NBA?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it would depend on what he does in this series and like the rest of the way for me to...
Sure. He's got to prove
He's got to prove himself for me. I can't crown him up there too high too soon. Knicks fans foretold since Pope Leo is the new Pope, they said that they would win the NBA championship. What is he doesn't have connections to New York. What do the Knicks
Is
what
he
do
a
Knicks
Knicks
fans
fan?
care? What do Nick I don't know, he's not a Knicks fan, I don't think, is he?
I don't think Knicks fans are Catholic.
I don't think so. Yeah.
They're mostly
Yeah,
like
Donovan,
probably
what's been a
Satanists
big
or something.
situation.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Games left in the season. What do you think about the job that he did? since moving over to head coach and the potential for him to be in that role on a permanent basis?
I mean, it's really, like you said, it's a tough spot to be. You have he had three games to change something, and I think he changed the energy. I think the guys were woken up a little bit. The guys had more energy. He made us believe in something, and we played good. We played a seven game series with probably the best team in NBA, and we had opportunity, we had chances. So I think he did a really good job.
And as far as the future goes for him, your thoughts?
I'm not the guy to add. I mean, it's above my pay grade.
David Adelman, Scotty. David Adelman.
Mhm.
I love he did all the right things. He said all the right things. He got this team past the Clippers, which 7-game series against a really good Clipper team, and all the way into a 7-game series with the OKC Thunder. Now, for me, in my opinion, I think it depends on who they bring in as GM, one, and I think it also depends on there's not a lot of for me. I was looking at the landscape of candidates, and there's Budenholzer, there's Terry Stotts,
There's Taylor Jenkins.
there's Taylor. I don't want Taylor Jenkins. I don't think Taylor Jenkins, just based off of the fact that people were getting upset with Taylor Jenkins in Memphis, that he wasn't making moves when he needed to, and he didn't really have a feel of the game flow and couldn't sub that. That worries me. So Taylor Jenkins is one that I'm not so high on. But then you have other candidates that are there's a hot assistant behind Spoelstra in Miami that's one of the top guys, and I was thinking to myself, all right, you got a guy who is an assistant in Miami that hasn't coached anything, but he's got all this hype around him, versus David Adelman, who's an assistant that got a chance to actually make it into a playoff series, win a Game 7, and take what he did with OKC. If you're choosing between two assistants, you're probably sticking with Adelman at that point. But then again, you got to figure the GM that's coming in will have a say. And so I love what Adelman did. He helped himself. I think he could be a good head coach in this league. And I thought he did way above what I would have expected in this spot.
Yeah, I would just say that Jokic is lying right there. 3-4 years ago, that would have been absolute true for me.
Hey,
All right.
Skittle Coach!
I think Jokic.
Skittle Coach, what's going on?
Thanks, Skittle Coach, for the Shaq Shimmy follow. Appreciate you.
Thanks for the follow.
No, the idea that Jokic won't be involved in whether Adelman stays or not, I think is ridiculous. And it would be ridiculous for the new GM,
100%,
the whoever, the owner, whatever, to not. I think Jokic has reached a point. Again, even when they won the title, I don't even know if he was at this point. But now he's at the point where he's like, I know what I want. I know who we need. He's quasi coach right now. He's leading the guys in the in timeouts at times. He's shouting out plays. He's calling out plays, calling out offenses.
Yep.
Doing all these things. The idea that he won't have a say is absurd. I don't know. I don't like it. I have no idea his thoughts on Adelman. I think he probably likes Adelman, but does that mean he wants to keep Adelman as coach? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, Adelman's been here 7 or 8 years, helping out with this team, and so he's got the familiarity. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of question marks for the Denver Nuggets in this offseason. What's up, SDG? Thanks for Scotty's boy LaBum. All-star players are involved with coaches' moves, no matter what is being reported. Yeah, and I think, you want your star to be happy.
My boy, who?
LeBron.
LaBum.
I hate that guy. Him and Scotty Scheffler are my least favorite athletes on the planet, probably.
Skittles, my team is San Antonio Spurs. I'm a man who Spurs. Congrats for Spurs time is coming.
They got the number 2 pick now.
The Spurs time is coming. I'm telling you, they are.
De'Aaron, obviously.
Gosh,
Wemby.
the West is wild.
Castle, and they're gonna get the number 2 pick. So the West, it's so absurd.
The West is getting better.
I think I said on our last stream, like maybe we just turn the East into like a G League.
Turn the East into G League because, all right, think about this. Denver's gonna with Jokic is gonna be at the top. Minnesota with Ant is gonna be towards the top. OKC
SGA
is gonna be towards the top. That's just the Northwest Division, ladies and gentlemen. That's just the Northwest Division. Then you get into the Pacific Division. You got, obviously, the Clippers. They're always going to be in the mix. Not maybe powerhouses, but Clippers, Lakers, big West Coast market. You got Dallas Mavericks. They got the number 1 overall pick. They're going to reload. They got Anthony Davis. They got that. They're going to be in the mix. Then you got the young Houston Rockets team who had a chance to, get some experience in a first-round matchup. They're going to be better. San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama. They have assets. They're making moves. Like
And
the
now
West.
Dallas is gonna get Cooper Flag.
Cooper
to
Flag,
go along with
yeah.
Anthony Davis, and
Although,
at
did
some
you say
point,
Flag was
healthy-
overrated?
I think
he
could be
is overrated.
He could be a good
but,
fit in
like,
San Antonio.
That doesn't mean if he's a third string to Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving
I mean,
in
yeah.
Dallas.
Or Dallas, I mean, yeah.
That's pretty. I've heard reports he doesn't want to go to Dallas. I think that's just San Antonio fans like pushing a false narrative. I don't know why he wouldn't want to go to Dallas. That's a pretty good situation for a number 1 pick to go to.
Because Nico Harrison is still there.
Who cares?
Nico Harrison's job got 1.8% saved by 1.8% chance.
I don't know if Kyrie's going to play at all next year or not, but eventually Dallas, if you get a healthy Kyrie, Anthony Davis, Cooper Flag, and those side pieces, like they're going to be dangerous as well. Like it's just insane in the West.
The West
Where
is
in the East. The East is just. I mean,
well, and
what if Giannis comes to the West?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think if Giannis comes to the West, that would be wild. I mean, here's the thing in the East. East is normally top heavy. Boston will not be the same looking team that they've had. They are so far in the second apron. They're going to be fire sale everybody. They're going to be getting rid of some guys, and they're going to break that team down. So that's going to be an issue. You look at across the rest of the landscape, though. Philadelphia with Embiid, that's not a thing. New York Knicks have a little bit of a runway, but they haven't looked like. I mean, I like the Knicks; they're fine, but like
they don't. Listen, no disrespect, but they don't have a true superstar. They don't. They don't.
I mean, and then you look. I mean, Indiana, Detroit, and Cleveland are kind of in the middle of the pack there. So it's like I don't like. There's nothing. The West is still a gauntlet, and so it's just it's going to be fascinating to see how things end up shifting this offseason. But yeah, San Antonio Spurs. Shout out to Skittles for your boys. Dallas getting Flag is as rigged as Patrick Ewing to the Knicks. Throw the hate my way. I don't care. That's what it feels like.
We talked about it. And like, if you trade away, or well, that wasn't the Knicks situation, but you trade away a great player, you're rewarded with the number 1 pick.
Coincidence? Yeah. I mean, as Nick Wright says, you know what you get? You know the percentage of chance you have? 1.8%. 1.8%. That's the percentage you have a chance to.
I think I'm fine with a lottery. I think that lottery is broken, and I think the lottery should only involve at most the bottom, let's say 6 teams. It shouldn't involve every team that misses the playoffs.
It should involve play-ins at least.
Playing teams that don't make it. I mean, Dallas was a game away from not even being in the lottery. They won their first playing game. and then they lost. They were a game away from being in the playoffs and not in the lottery. I think the lottery, if you want to do it, that's fine, but it should be relegated to like the bottom 7, not every team that misses the playoffs.
Yeah, agreed. And they need to switch it up a little bit. Even the Pope bashed LeBron James. He called him LaBarbie Diddy James. Did he? I don't know. I haven't heard that. If he has, maybe.
I
Nikola,
don't think he has that lingo in
Thunder,
his repertoire,
they're-
but I don't know him
tried
that
to make
well
a
yet.
point to wear you guys down with their depth throughout this series. You guys were obviously.
Oh,
playing
here's where he
shorter
talks about the
rotation
depth.
for most of it. Maybe this is above your pay grade too, but as far as depth, what do you?
By the way, not a lot is above his pay grade because he's going to be getting paid a lot of money.
He gets paid more than anybody.
He gets paid.
in
So
Denver.
his pay grade, let's just say, is a little different here.
He's gonna get paid more than the GM, the coach, the every other player.
No
This whole
question.
pay grade thing. Maybe just change the vernacular to something else because pay grade, he's right there.
Yeah,
He can make all the decisions based off his pay grade.
He will. I mean, he's slated to be the highest paid player in the NBA moving forward.
Like you said, it's about my. But yes, we definitely need probably. I think we played so long for such a way, and it's hard for the guys to step up and especially play, especially against two really good teams, Clippers and OKC. And we cannot ask for somebody who didn't play maybe 20, 30 games to jump in and like be good and like expect him to be good. But like Julian step up, he was good. Peyton, he was in a rotation, but he had some good minutes too. So definitely, seems like the teams that has a longer rotation, the longer bench, it's the one who are winning. Indiana, what's the name? OKC. So Minnesota.
So yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, the longer rotations you have, like the Nuggets have not had a deep bench all season long. We knew that was an issue. And here we are talking about it at the end of a series where we were like struggling to put together dudes, where we were playing two guys that would normally not be playing for like a month or two in the starting rotation and just like piecemealing it together. And
they have guys that are aggressive. Like Caruso, if you took a DNA sample from any part of Jokic's body, it doesn't matter where, you could take it from his kneecap, from his ankle, from his whatever. Like literally, if there was a crime involved, Caruso would be guilty. He, in this game, for whatever reason, they have this defense where like Caruso's matched up in the middle with him, and Caruso just annihilates him. Just does whatever he wants to Jokic, and it's allowed. And if it's allowed, then you should do it. I don't blame OKC for doing that. Like
it's consistency with the calls.
Like Caruso's a type of guy. Like if he's on the other team, you probably hate him. If he's on your team, you love him.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were deeper. They had better depth. There's no question about that. That's why they won 68 games. Like we're talking about a team that won 68 games. Where does that fall historically in the NBA?
Do you?
Like, that's got to be a top 5 regular season. I mean, the best is what, 72, 73 wins.
It's up there. It's up there with the and when I was watching this series, Scotty, this didn't strike me as a 68 win team. Like if you were to blindfold me and not tell me what the seeds were, and you were saying, "Here's a series, watch it." What do you think the seeds of OKC is? I wouldn't come close to being a 1 seed with 68 wins. And I think that was mainly due to the inexperience that they were going up against a veteran team that has been to Game 7s before, that has been in long series, that has played in a championship and won, that has had the history of these runs where you have a team that like OKC that's very inexperienced, that has one player that's ever been to a finals, never played in a Game 7, never gotten to a point where they're playing these very tight late stage games. And that's what I'm worried about too, by the way, is the fact that they learned a lot in this run. Whether they win or lose in this run, OKC's got a lot more experience this year than they ever have. And so they're going to just only continue to get better. But that being said, it's just like
I think they're going to win the title.
so. It's an inexperienced thing. That's what closed the gap between these two teams in the second round here, in my opinion. 7 Sly, Wolves in 5. Stacka, runner or stunner at Indy. Israeli rookie wins pole for 109th Indy 500. Ooh. All right.
I've heard of it.
I've
heard of the Indy 500.
Did
it not happen? You won the poll. Did it not happen today? Wouldn't it happen on a Sunday? Why they wouldn't do it on like a Monday, right? I'm not.
I'm not races on a Sunday. Like there's all those jokes like, oh, it's a Super Bowl. That means it's just 1 week from Daytona.
but pole just means you're starting
ahead, the race
right at the front.
Yeah, that's where you start.
I don't. There's. I mean, I don't care about racing at all. I'm gonna be honest. I've never got into it. It's never been my thing. To each their own. I probably enjoy going to one, but like no, I have zero knowledge on racing. So even the Indy 500, I'm like
they turn left.
A lot of left turns. Well,
Indy does a little bit of everything.
Or is that Indy?
Or is that Formula One?
That's Formula One. Not
Formula
Indy.
One has all the
Indy does a circle. Formula One does like the turns
like
and stuff, but
like an actual track.
Maybe we figure out the difference.
Even that, I'm just like I don't know. It's never appealed to me, but to each their own.
Yeah.
If you enjoy it, enjoy it.
I was in a NASCAR while Kevin Harvick was around, and then he retired, and now I haven't watched it since. So I need to, maybe fill my time with a little extra since the Nuggets are done. And
I lost it when Dale Earnhardt died in a crash.
Dale Earnhardt, rip.
My man.
All right.
I did like Dale for some reason. I don't know.
I mean, Dale, he's a legend.
But to be clear, I still never watched a race. I would just watch it on like SportsCenter and see that he won or lost or whatever. But
Thunder going to crumble in a big stage. Give me Wolves and Pacers final. That would be fun. It wouldn't be a lot of viewership, but it would be. I would watch the series. I mean, I think
is there a series that could happen that you wouldn't watch?
No, probably not.
I think it's going to be OKC and New York.
Yeah,
that sounds. I have no. I don't care, to be honest. I'm just bitter and angry.
If that would be the case, I think I would lean rooting for New York in that series. I would lean that way.
On the flip side of that, you talk about OKC's depth and how deep they are, and obviously they're one of the historic defenses that we've seen in recent memory. Going against them in a 7-game series, how would you say now you assess them and before the series, and what has been your biggest takeaway against going against the deep group of guys like that can defend?
I mean, it's versatility. It's they can put a lot of guys on a lot of good defenders and a lot of good offensive players, and still like have. They're so aggressive, they're so handsy. Even when you go by them, Chet or Isaiah is there. Their attacking passing lane is really good. They're into the ball. I like to say their hand is always on the ball, always like follow the ball, and it's really hard to make a straight pass. It's even when you pass the ball, it's not on the shooting pocket, and maybe that's why the reason it's they always contesting the shots, they always boxing out. They're well taught, they're well coached team, and that's why they're doing this what they're doing.
Nikola, what are you most proud of in terms of what this team was able to accomplish this season, and then what are you most proud of individually that you were able to accomplish?
As a team, I think it was probably playoffs. I think everybody, even in the first round, they thought the Clippers going to beat us, and we found a way to win. Like I said, we always find a way. Except tonight, we found a way to win a game. We found a way to win a series, and today maybe was not the case. But in season, in global, I think that was the maybe description of this team. Like we always find a way, and that's why I'm proud of it. Individually, I don't know. It was a good season. It was I stayed healthy. I'm really thankful for that. I mean, I put a lot of effort in it, so I'm I'm thankful. But I know like what's my routine and what I need to do. So I trust what I'm doing, and it seems it's working well for me.
Real quick.
How will this offseason be different?
Oh, I'll let him finish. I'll get to this in a second.
Playing in the Olympics clearly didn't bother you too much in terms of a production standpoint this season. How will this offseason be different? Just
I think Olympus make me even better. Playing with a country, playing with different rules, but it's not really different. Playing with different players, I think it made me even better. I think I need to decide. There is a Eurobasket, the European Championship. I need to decide that.
Don't
I need
play.
To talk with the coaches and with some of the main
Just
players,
relax.
let's say like that.
Drink some beer, dance.
And we will see. But from now, like next couple of days, there's gonna be a lot of beer probably.
Oh, there you go.
Hey,
Hey, that's my guy. That's my guy. A lot of beer. I think, can we put the story to rest? These narratives of Jokic doesn't care about basketball and he just wants to go play with horses. Like, just put this to rest, please. Like, it's done. It's over. You can't say that anymore. He cares about basketball. He wants to get better, and he's going to be better. What's scary is he's like, he was referring to a lot of these like international competitions. He's like, oh, I'm gonna be better for that. Is it weird to think that he's still getting better, Scotty? Like, this was a historic season. To finish top 3 in all the major statistical categories has never been done. The closest anyone's done was like top 12 or top 13. No one's ever come close to top 3 in all categories. And he didn't win MVP, and he's sitting here, and I believe that he's still could be getting better. That's wild to me.
Yeah, it's hard to get better than what he did this year. So we'll see. I mean, honestly, he's great. Obviously, he's great. I don't know if he played to that level at times in the playoffs. He had great games, but he was a little more inconsistent in the playoffs than what we're used to seeing. And maybe that's just hard defense and a lot of guys running at him, a lot of guys hitting him, a lot of guys coming at him. We didn't have we had no rest because of a 7-game series followed by a 7-game series. But yeah, it was rough. Chris, for whatever reason, I'm diving now into like OKC's contract situation. And yes, they're young, but like
they have
their window is this year, and depending on what they decide to do with some club options next year.
Because they have a lot of young guys that they're going to need to get paid soon.
Yeah,
like
their window isn't as big because you're like, oh, they're so young, their window's for forever. No, Jalen Williams is getting paid $4.5 million this year, Chris.
That's going to change.
And next year, 6.5. And then he's going to have to get paid. They have club options on several, like Lou Dort, Caruso, Hartenstein is, I think, actually a free agent. It's another club option.
Is Caruso? What's Caruso?
Or no, he has 20. He's under contract next year. What do you mean? What's Caruso? His contract?
Yeah, what's his?
Hold on.
Because
Caruso this year was 18. He has a no. He's under contract for a while. It goes up a little bit, but I don't know why I saw a club option on him. He's under contract till 28, 29. It goes from 18 to 19 to 20 to 22. So it jumps, but not anything substantial. Although then you're paying, he's under contract. Those aren't even club options, where you're paying Caruso. I mean, Caruso right now is 31. You're paying $22 million when he's 34 for Alex Caruso. So They'll still have some issues. They have a lot of money under contract next year. Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins are, I think, maybe up. So some of that depth will leave. This is the best team the Thunder will ever have as far as talent. Now, whether they decide to, and maybe they can run it back next year, but as I'm looking at Isaiah Joe, like
The West getting better next year.
this website actually sucks. They're like, oh no, they have a club option, and I look at their contract and I'm like, it's not for a couple of years. What do you mean, club option? Where's now? I gotta look at chat. I've got to look at Chet because Chet's he got 13 this year, which means that's his rookie deal, obviously. He is 13 next year, so he has one more year, and then he's gonna get paid. So basically, no, they have this year and next, and then they got to pay Chet and Jalen Williams, and they certainly can't pay both of them along with their contract. So their window is this year and next.
Yeah, they need to take advantage of this, and it's going to be tough in the West. The way the West is constructed and the way it's getting built up. I mean, I think the Nuggets are going to make some moves. I'm looking at some of the free agency candidates, and I'm like kind of focusing in on defensive-minded players. And I mean, I'm trying to look at cheaper options. I mean, you got, interestingly enough, you look at a couple guys that could be interesting, but they're going to get paid a little bit more as you go on. You got a couple guys in Minnesota, Naz Reid and Nikola Walker-Alexander are two guys that I'm like, man, those could be interesting.
Naz Reid is going to get
He's going to get a boatload. Currently, the 2024-25 earnings for Nikola
Reid is so underrated.
Yeah. Nikola Walker-Alexander, Minnesota, only making $4 million right now between 2024-25 season. I mean, good defender, long. He's like, he would be like a perfect fit. Those are the kind of guys we need to surround Jokic with. Guys that can shoot and guys that can play defense and be consistent. And those are the kind of situations that I would like to help ourselves out a little bit. But either way, Scotty, after talking about it a little bit,
season is over.
It's over.
No,
That's
I'm just kidding.
We're done watching I'll watch basketball still. It's gonna take me a minute to get to the level that I was.
You like Minnesota against OKC. I like OKC. Is that correct? And then I think we both think the Knicks will win, and partial of that is just the NBA has to have the Knicks win. It's not even a shot at Indiana. It's just like the NBA can't afford an Indiana, Minnesota, or OKC final.
What was the Knicks Pacers last? What were their last games? So Knicks won, Pacers won, Knicks won, Pacers won, Pacers. So it's a fairly, you're looking at their head to head in the last 5 games. Pacers have won 3 out of the last 5 this over the course of the season. No. This is never mind. This is dating back. That's wrong.
Play a team 5 times in the regular season.
No, regular season this year. Pacers won 2 out of 3. Pacers won 2 out of 3.
Fine. I think the Pacers might be the better team, but I think the whistle is going to heavily lean towards New York.
Yeah. So it was 2 games at Indiana, 1 game against in 1 game in New York. So so that's what it looks like. So there you go. There's the breakdown. Did I say Pacers won 2 out of 3?
Yes,
No.
yes, you
Oh
did.
yeah.
Sorry, Knicks. I'm sorry, Knicks won 2 out of 3. Sorry. They won 123-98 and 128-115. So, yeah, Pacers actually Knicks are 2-1. I'm sorry, I misspoke. So,
Did you watch Game 6 in New York on Friday night?
I watched a little bit of it. I was kind of in and out of doing a couple other things, but
wasn't very close.
No.
Yeah. The Knicks had more points in the second quarter than the Celtics had in the first half.
It's usually not a recipe for winning if you're the Celtics.
So let's take a look at the odds to win the NBA Finals now. OKC is the favorite, obviously, at -175. But I will say some decent value on the Knicks and the Timberwolves. Knicks getting a little over 4.5 to 1, and the Minnesota Timberwolves 6.5 to 1 to win the title. So if you think, and I think Rec threw some money on Minnesota.
No, I threw on them to win the West.
Oh, to win the West.
Yeah, to beat OKC.
Well, if they beat OKC, I think that they have enough momentum, and if no injuries happen, that's a nice momentum boost to go into a Knicks series. By the way, Knicks and Timberwolves, little storyline there, made a little offseason trade that a lot of players might be familiar with each other on opposing teams. So, just that's one aspect of that potential series. Not as exciting, but either way, I think that could be an interesting.
Sly thinks Anthony Edwards has the West on the bag. I think he's the best player in that series over Shea, but I think OKC's the better team. They get home court. Now, obviously, the Wolves get a little rest, where the Thunder don't get that. So we'll see.
I'll tell you what, the Wolves will present a lot more defensive presence that the Nuggets couldn't. Like the rim protection, the length on all of the point of attack defenders on the 3-point line. You're not going to be seeing Shea and a lot of these OKC guards get the same shots that they got in the Nuggets series. I'll tell you that right now. Minnesota's going to be very, very good about defending much better than what the Nuggets did in the series against OKC. So that'll be an interesting little chess match